Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Alt Kings podcast. I'm your host, Tate, with my co-host, Corbin, and today we have a one-of-a-kind man. He goes by the name of Smitty, and he is one of the number one influencers across the whole entire crypto space. We're very happy to have you here today, man. It's a true pleasure, and we're always seeing you're very active in Twitter and all these great different altcoin spaces, and it's just a true honor to host a man like that who's always trying to spread great words, you know?
Oh, man, I appreciate it. I was excited to come on the podcast. I watched you guys a few times and just it's an honor, man, especially to be representing so many great communities across the board. Yeah. Make a shout out to all my XRP, HBAR, LCX, and Algo family. I love you guys. Love the community, and it's lit, man. It's the future, and I'm just like, my mind is blown with excitement just for everything that's about to transpire. So, I mean, yeah, it's amazing.
Truly. So you are a super producer, audio engineer, and record executive.
Yes, sir.
What got you into that space,
Well, honestly, I've been in music for 25 years now. Believe it or not, people don't even know it. I just turned 41. So, I mean, I look young, but, I've been in the world for a little bit longer than most folks. But no, man, I started like emceeing and DJing and broadcasting on radio when I was in like 7th grade and at my school's radio station. And from there, I got into emceeing with my man Brian Radar Ellis. He's a spokesman for OK Player now. He's a pretty famous professor at Berkeley School of Music in Boston. But he got me into emceeing, man. And then from there, started my own production company from my college dorm room in 2000. And, I was just making beats on my Yamaha DJX keyboard, and then, got discovered FL Studio and started producing on that, and then, doing local projects. And then from there, things just started taking off. And, I started pressing up my own CDs and mixtapes and driving around the country and basically selling CDs out the trunk of my car, man. And in a matter of probably a span of like 5 years, maybe between 3 to 5 years, I sold about 150,000 CDs out the trunk of my car. So, I mean, I know how to hustle, man. I also slept in my car, freaking paid to perform, did a lot of shit, man. Got my first radio hits around 2006, signed with different management, different deals and stuff. Never signed with a major record label, though, man. I've been independent my entire career. And I've worked with multi-platinum artists. I've worked with really popular independent artists, and then, just upcoming artists as well, man. So now I've got a record label, Sound Alive Records, and it's been in existence for almost 8 years. We have distribution through Sony, and we just redesigned the site and the portal, and we're getting ready to add blockchain to it. And, there's a lot more crazy things going on. I own a patent for a blockchain technology involving the music industry. And so I'm meeting with various people now and just trying to put it together, get the devs on board so we can start creating this new technology. And then from there, man, who knows, man, we might just take over the whole freaking music industry.
Yeah, the sky's the limit with that stuff, I mean, when you're an early adopter to something great, I mean, you basically can control the game.
Yeah. Especially if you already have your foot in the door with the labels too, because I feel like it's a big hurdle that a lot of people would come across if you're trying to do something similar.
Yeah, I mean, what I want to do with like all the major labels really is just update them, But in order to do that, we have to, we develop the technology first, and then from there, we're gonna come after them, and they're gonna break bread with us because we're gonna give it to them, but it's gonna be already shipped up and zipped up and ready to go. So I mean, that's the beauty of it, I can't spill the beans too much because then I'm kind of like giving away my whole secret, the secret sauce or whatever, but. It's mind-boggling, breathtaking shit, man. And like I said, if anything, we're going to utilize it first. We already have the platform. We got the following. We're running advertising. We're doing a lot of different things right now. And the whole beauty of it is that kind of get people off of fiat and move them to the blockchain and then kind of, get people thinking forward. Because like one of my favorite guys, man, Monty from LCX, when that guy talks, I listen, man. And he says it so simplistically, so perfectly. He's like, blockchain is to money as the letter is to email, just that one phrase right there. And that's how early we are with the adoption of blockchain and crypto, and tokenization. A lot of people just think a NFT is a, art, and it's much more than art. It's ownership.
Yeah.
It's, a live contract that lives on the freaking blockchain. It's extra added royalties and added intrinsic value to your art. And then even, dual ownership of something. Like you can own it in the physical realm, and then you can own it in the digital realm. The two go hand in hand. I think they were talking about, they call it phygital or whatever. I think that term's kind of funny.
Yeah.
Like physical and digital together. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm learning a lot about this stuff myself. So, I mean, I'm pretty green, but it's exciting to me, and I really enjoy it. And I found, like family and home, like right here on the blockchain, man. So, I mean, like, I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to ride it out with all my blockchain family members, man.
And neither are we.
Yep.
It's a great place to be honest, man. Because like everybody in these small cap coin communities, I mean, I wouldn't even consider it that, but anybody in these communities like XRP and HBAR, they're just so tight knit, and like it feels like another family.
Yeah,
and
these chains are like the Olive Garden. When you're here, you're family.
Yeah.
No. Oh my God, that was so good right there. Olive Garden.
But I mean, if you like compare it to ETH and stuff, ETH is like a Shark Tank in a sense. Everybody's trying to go after each other. Everybody's a bunch of snakes in the grass.
Oh man,
you can't really build something strong out there.
I do want to say this, man. We've had a little bit of feuding going on in the XRP. On the ledger, man, and it's not been pretty, man. So I try to tell cats all the time, let's make sure we keep our community tight, and let's lift each other up. If you want to, constructively criticize each other, that's fine. And a little competitiveness, mine's better than yours, like Coke and Pepsi go back and forth,
Of course.
But when it comes to like people like throwing out slander and people trying to destroy other people's projects, and then you have, just ugliness, man, the ugly side of things, one person trying to manipulate and control the entire space. That's not what the ledger was created for, man. It was created for anybody to build. And I want people to hear this because I say it all the time. The XRP ledger, man, was created for anyone to build. You don't have to be a millionaire. If you have a great idea, and you're going to utilize the utility of the ledger to bring that idea to fruition, then that idea right there, the value is in the idea. It's not in the amount of money that you invest into actually building it. That will come later, because if people really believe in your idea, then guess what? They're going to freaking invest in it anyways, because great ideas come once in a freaking lifetime. So I want people to know that, especially on the XRP ledger. This is for my XRP family. Like, y'all stop being scared to build on the platform. Everybody needs to continue building, continue doing your things. I would say this, though. Mind your own business. Focus on your project. Don't worry about what everyone else is doing, and keep building on it. Because, I saw the ledger go from when I came in, man, about, 9 months ago. It was booming, man. It was crazy. So much going on. To now, it's kind of stagnant, and the energy's down a little bit. The interaction's kind of down, and I think people got discouraged. And there's certain people that node validators that think that they're like the sheriff of Reppleham, a freaking officer blockchain,
Yeah,
and it's
like, no kidding.
If a project's gonna FUD or be a fraud, it'll show its face. But also do your research, because there's a freaking risk in any investment, and you have to be able to understand that risk, and then understand the project and what you're getting into. make sure you do your research. It's not up to other people to do the research for you. You do the research, So
100%, yeah.
That's just a little soundbite I wanted to say. I love the XRP community though, and XRP is definitely up there with my top holdings and my top coins. I'll say this though, HBAR, LCX, Algo communities have been on fire lately. And I also love the ecosystems that are being created. I know HBAR, they say, is not a blockchain. I don't know how that's possible. I mean, maybe it's coding or something I don't understand. But
it's a hash graph.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To me, it's fantastic though. It's just as good as Algo, as LCX, and I love what these platforms are doing as well, man. And it's not just going to be XRP. XRP might handle some of the transferring and liquidity crisis, but then you have all these ecosystems that are being built on these alternate blockchains or alternate platforms, and not all of them are going to be used in one way, utilized in one way or another, man. So I mean, it's good to diversify a little bit. We don't even know how long it's going to be before when the case is over, when XRP actually does hit, when we put our moon boots on and go blast off. We don't know. That's like a unknown factor right there. But I do know that there'll be quite a few tokens moving forward that are going to do great things. The ones that are building the amazing ecosystems, and the ones that are that are preparing for the future. And in some regards, some of these platforms, ledgers, blockchains are they're even more advanced, in certain regards than some of the stuff that we see. So I think it's going to be all about utility moving forward, 1,000%.
Oh, for sure.
I won't hold a token if it's not utility. I don't do
That's what it comes down to, yeah.
And then, the traditional tokens that we see now, like, I don't want to say names because I don't want to trash any token, but there's certain tokens, man, that I won't even touch, and it's if it's not forward thinking and future and something that we're going to build on in the future, it's like I won't even touch it, man.
Yeah. So what got you into crypto? Like, how did you discover XRP, HBAR, Algo, and LCX?
Freaking annoying ass commercial with what's that guy, the actor on eToro, freaking popping up on my screen every 5 minutes. And I was like, what the fuck is this shit? And finally, I just said, oh, the hell with it. And I created an account. I bought different tokens and started like day trading. Thought I was day trading. I did a horrible job.
Yeah, we all think we are initially.
That's the hardest shit ever to do, I'll tell you.
Yeah. Takes a lot of skill and a lot of patience.
Man, I don't have I unfortunately I don't have the time to look at graphs all day, man. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But big ups to the ones who do day trade, man, because that's like some genius shit right there.
Yeah.
No, the freaking commercial kept coming on, and I was like, all right, fine, I'll give it a try. Gave it a try, and ended up like holding a bunch of XRP because I bought it like real cheap, like 11 cents or something like that. This is, I think, 2019 or 2018. It might be the summer of 2019. I don't know. This is like
summer
right around
2019. Yeah, that's
right
when I got
COVID.
in it too. Yeah.
This is when COVID, like we had to go through COVID for however long, and we're still going through whatever, I guess, and then from there, I started doing more research, and of course I was researching XRP, and I ran across David Schwartz like several times, and I was like, okay, and just listening to him speak, and I was like, this guy, he knows what he's talking about. He's a genius. And then and talking about decentralization and everything that I ever dreamed of that would happen one day. Hopefully, I was praying for it. You know what I mean? Like that we could get off of fiat and get into like legit money, something that's actually real. Because to me, fiat, you have to use it now. I mean, you need it to survive, but it's fake money. It's not real money. You know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean.
Money living on the blockchain it doesn't get any realer than that. You know what I mean? And this is, to my understanding, this technology comes from somewhere from another freaking galaxy, and it's been around for 500,000 years or something crazy, so it's like super advanced. And if you think about it, You think of a bank account, it's like what? A bank account number is what, 13 digits or 9 digits. Same with the routing number. It's just numbers. Okay, you can hack that. That's easy. Hackers can do whatever they want to do with that. When you think of the blockchain, 25 characters, uppercase, lowercase numbers, freaking letters, and you mix that up, and it's like it's almost unhackable interface. So
very distinct.
That's what the blockchain is. It's the code, and it's fancy. I love it, man. I don't know. Like I go to sleep and that's all I dream about is blockchain. Losing my mind.
That's amazing to hear.
Yeah. And then there's all kinds of really cool use cases that they're essentially being custom tailored for. So for instance, like with XRP, they're, being custom tailored for, the financial sector and like, Nostro Vostro and like liquidity essentially. And then HBAR with their governing council, and essentially Hedera themselves just custom tailoring certain applications to be utilized with HBAR, and then have that be designed for these giant companies like Ubisoft and LG and IBM and stuff. It's crazy stuff.
Yes. I'm a huge fan of Ubisoft. I mean, they amazing freaking media company. LG also, I have LG phones and flat screens, and I mean, you already know it's everywhere, literally in every freaking sports stadium arena. There's a LG screen. You know what I mean? No, and even with HBAR, like it's already being utilized. The technology, I think they're storing or they're using it for like medical data, like already. And they're doing. I mean, see, people don't understand. Like that's the whole purpose. Like the value is in the use case, and why and how it's being used. You know what I mean? And then I'm also a big fan of the Hedera Foundation. Look at what they're doing. They're giving out grants just like Ripple is, but I think their process is even more streamlined. You go online, you fill out your application, you can tell them, hey, I want my grant money in HBAR, and it's fancy, man. I'm a real big fan of HBAR, and same with Algo and the Algo Rand Foundation. And, their ICEO, he's a freaking amazing guy. And I met another gentleman named Christian, who's a really awesome dude too, man. And this is what I'm saying when I say that every day is super exciting. You never know who you're going to meet and who's going to come across your plate, because, now we're talking in realms of like meeting the top dogs who are, the brains behind these amazing projects. And so, I'm talking you guys to death, but
no. Good, man. Smitty, who's one of the biggest, I guess you could say, influential people that you've met in the crypto space so far?
Well, I would say David Schwartz is one of them, and then
you've met him and talked to him.
Well, he follows me, and we've had a few spats online.
That's great.
He told me to. Sometimes when I'm going off on a tangent, he sends me a suicide hotline number, and no, the guy's got a great sense of humor.
Yes, he does.
Strange guy too, man, real strange.
That's how a majority. That's what I've came to the conclusion with, like a majority of these like crypto, just the blockchain creators in a sense, like with XRP and just all these different networks. They have some sort of craziness inside of them. It's like a desire to accomplish the inevitable, like they're trying to basically, in a way, take over the world with what they do.
Yeah. And I'm fine with that. Please, let's take it over,
Yeah.
The world that we see that other people probably haven't or are just catching on to is a totally different world. And that's what I'm saying. The energy's different. The ideas are flowing everywhere. It's a free space, man. It's an open space, and it's a motivating space. So, I mean, honestly, just in 1 year, I think the vibe that I was on went from, it was pretty high to the roof with this whole blockchain crypto thing. It's not a day that I don't get online and meet people like you guys, or, just see amazing things that other people are doing and the projects that they're doing. And, I'm a congratulator, man. Like, I won't hate on anybody.
Me too.
If you take a look at the last tweet I did, I think I said I jacked it from The Secret because I'm a big fan of Law of Attraction. But let me see, what did I say? I said something crazy. It was I said it last night before I went to bed because it hit me right in the stomach. I said this is what I said. I said celebrate the success of others as though it is your own. Okay, and that's what I'm saying. Like big other people up, because the more successful they become, the more opportunities and doors that they might open for you. You know what I mean? And
the more we all will eat.
Yeah, I look at it like it's a win-win for everybody. So yeah, when I see other people winning, the only thing I want to do is congratulate and then be a part of it, because I want people to celebrate my W's too, Too many people in the world right now, they caught up with their L's, and worrying about an L. Man, everybody's going to take an L here and there. It's all about, get back up and keep it moving, man. Like Rocky said, it's not about how many times you get knocked down. It's about how many times you get back up and you keep going,
Yes.
So
for sure.
I think that's really important for people to understand, and then also we're human, man. We're imperfect, as perfect as we'd like to think that we are, look in the mirror and see a guy like me and like, yeah, man, I'm a pretty handsome guy, Yeah. No, I'm kidding. But, no, we're imperfect. And, and people make mistakes, but that always opens the door for, improvement. And yes, there's always going to be something that can be improved on and blah, 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 blah. And that's the beauty of it, man. You'll never actually reach perfection, but you can strive for perfection and reach greatness. And I think that I don't know if I'll ever be content with anything. And that's what your desire and drive is in life, is not to be content, but to always feel like you can improve on something, or you can make it better or bigger, or, in that sense. So, that's that. I feel like people with great minds, that's how they think, it's like, and also, man, it's like, when you get content, you get comfortable. I think that kind of leads to like laziness and, being inactive instead of being proactive. So, that's why, like, when you guys hit me up, I was like, 9:00 a.m. Let's go. Next meeting tomorrow, 9:00 a.m. Next meeting the next day, 9:00 a.m. And I'm like, I'm getting out of bed early this morning. I'm like, man, I just want to go back to bed. And I'm like, nope, get up. Got to get up, man. Got to get up and got to keep it moving. So, believe it or not, man, like, even in my days, most of my routine is like get up. And if I don't go like run sprints immediately when I get up in the morning, like run 40-yard sprints, go lift, I'm right on to business, emails, production, mixing, like jumping up and just jumping into it. And then, midday I go for my run. But I try to be active every day and work out and eat right. Try my best, man. But I'm
food's everything nowadays.
I'm addicted to bacon cheeseburgers and hot dogs. Okay, because it's summertime. And I like to cook on the grill.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Well, one thing that I've came to conclusion of, just with like life, it's better to seek discomfort than than to stay in comfort, because the more comfortable you get with things, the less you're going to grow as an individual. The more you seek discomfort, the more you'll grow. As much as you hate it and stuff, but I mean, that's what comes with like working out. When you work out, you are at one of the most uncomfortable positions of your entire existence, if you think about it. And I mean, like, but that growth after that workout, you might feel exhausted, but the next day you might feel better, and it just continues to get better and better and better. And you're going to get less sore the more you work out. And it comes down to consistency,
Yeah.
So the more consistent you are with seeking discomfort, the more comfortable you will be down the road, and you'll feel so much better. And there's just so many more benefits from being discomfort being in discomfort than being in comfort. You know, the greatest of all time aren't comfortable with everything they do.
No, it's correct, man. They're the most uncomfortable people on the planet, you know. But they look so comfortable to us when we see them, and they look so amazing. We're like, wow, yeah, you know, that's
but they
Mike
went
Tyson.
Through so much shit.
That's 50 Cent. That's you know, whoever. You can name a million people, and then you find out their life story isn't much different than yours. You know, they're human. They go through things. They go through trials and tribulations. They get knocked down too. They get back up and they keep it moving, you know? So I think that's the beauty of it right there.
Yeah. So Smitty, what are your thoughts on just NFTs right now?
Well,
you got any NFTs? You have
I've
any?
got a bunch of NFTs, man. I'm holding on to a bunch, and I'm getting ready to mint my my album from 2017, Best of E Smitty.
Oh wow, nice.
I'm gonna mint NFTs on HBAR, and I'm gonna do them on XRPL if XRP gets it together, because right now
they will. I think it was a very good thing. It was very calculated that they were able to find that bug in the system, because in reality, that's just going to help everything thrive.
Somebody told me this though. They said that it's not even about the bug; it's just not the right timing yet. So they keep on coming up with like little excuses not to do the XLS 20 thing. So I think it's about timing. I think it's more about timing than anything. I think they're waiting for the market to hit where it needs to hit. And, I think giving people a little bit more time to load up their bags before we go to the moon. And, XRP is meant to be great. But here's one thing, though, and just put a bug in your ear. You know, a lot of people are down on Sologenic, and they're like, this is not legit. This is XLS 14 is deprecated, blah, blah, blah. Well, just remind you, Sologenic got a grant from Ripple. Okay. They met with David Schwartz, they got pictures together. So how deprecated is XLS 14 if Ripple funded their project and their platform? You know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying. Like, got to give respect where respect is due, because it's confusing for me. I've got people in my ear telling me that XLS 14 is trash. Well, I own a few XLS 14 NFTs. Yes,
me too.
It can be improved. You don't have the royalty function on it, percentages and stuff like that. That you're going to get with the XLS 20D, and I haven't seen an XLS 20D platform yet. I don't know who's going to do it. I think a few of them. I think NFT Master says they're going to do it. Right now, they're just developing on the DevNet. But when everything goes live, man, it's like, what is going to happen? So it's like a big secret right now.
Yeah, it's a real big secret.
But it's going to be. I still like it though. I mean, no, I still like the XLS 14 NFTs. Like, I own a bunch of them, and some of these projects are amazing. Now, I will say this: we can step it up a notch. Like, the art can get even better, way, way better. Because if you look at some of these NFTs on Ethereum, it blows your mind, man. And even some of their pixel art and their like 16-bit graphic art, that's my favorite, because my favorite game system of all time is Super Nintendo. Okay, nice. And Nintendo, NES, Super NES. So when they're creating these artworks with sprites that look like freaking classic video games, I'm like, man, this shit is awesome. And especially the ones that are kind of animated. You know what I'm talking about? They got like different
exactly
things
what
going
you're talking
on.
about. Yeah.
What's that called?
What? What exactly?
The animation in the NFTs.
Oh,
like how it moves in your gesture? Yeah, like it's like a GIF. Yeah.
Okay. So
a GIF.
Yeah, like a GIF. Okay. No, man, I just, some of that stuff is just looks awesome, man. You know what I mean? And I would love to have it like framed around my house with like awesome little sprite pictures everywhere, going crazy. Yeah. So
that'd be awesome.
That's the plan though for the new crib. When I move, I'm getting ready to move now. But once I get into the new house, we're going to have a bunch of those frames up. I want to have my top NFTs up, and I might even have just a studio just for blockchain,
That's awesome.
just to showcase my cool stuff and then look at other people's cool stuff,
What are some of your top NFTs? Let's start with XRP, and then we'll move into HBAR, and then obviously, of course, if there's anything else out there.
Algo has NFTs too.
Yeah, no, they do. Honestly, I don't really have a top. I like them all.
Yeah.
I'm big on I don't know why. I like apes. Apes are cool, man. So there's like a number of projects that have apes in them, and especially when they have like cool details, like you can zoom in, you can see like the fabric on the clothing and stuff like the little fibers. Yeah. I'm like, man, this is awesome. And somebody's creating that. It's not like a photograph. It's like created.
Are you talking generated. Specifically about the 3DL apes?
I love 3DL apes. Yes, I love their stuff.
Yeah.
Wow, you caught that too, man. Yeah, they're pretty awesome. I was working with this project in the beginning of June. Wait, August, no, January, like April, May, June, and they had these cats, man. They had these tigers, and I'm telling you, man, it was the best art I've seen. The project ended up not continuing. I think there was some kind of dispute within the team. But man, that project right there was fantastic too. And then, like I said, some of the pixel art, I'm like the really, really, really basic pixel art is cool. I own some of that stuff. I've got like only X punks, I got some wifeys, and I got some different stuff. Just holding on to it, man, because I feel like, once this thing goes to the moon, it's going to be worth a lot of money. I've just started actually getting into the HBAR NFTs and the Algo NFTs. So I don't have a lot of that stuff yet. I'm gonna get some stuff, and I'm gonna mint on HBAR and XRP and possibly even Algo as well. Because I'm a cross blockchain type of guy now.
Yeah,
I
so
like
are we.
I like a lot of stuff, man, and I'm only on 4 blockchains right now, but just wait until I discover something else,
Very true.
Some of my other favorite alternate coins that I like XLM. I like IOTA. I like,
Quant?
Quant. Yeah, everyone says Quant. The only thing is Quant right now to me is like a Filecoin was like a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
And you see what happened to Filecoin. So I'm just like a little bit sketchy. I'm a little sketch, because we were at 170 something and now we're at, $5. So it's like, that's a big drop, man. That's a big change. But yeah, I mean, we all know that Quant is also included in the future of finance. It's going to be, it's one of those pillars on the chart, and people create all these graphic charts and they, try to break it down for people. Some people say it's disinformation, but really what people are trying to do is they're trying to show you, which companies, which corporations are linked to these different coins, what the coins, the tokens are being used for, and how they're all kind of intertwined and connected together. And I mean, they talk about ISO 222 or whatever. I think that's just a very small piece of the pie. And then they talk about CBDCs, which are central bank digital currencies. Yeah. I don't think we're even going to be using those, honestly. I think that that's part of the old system. That's part of SWIFT. And I think we're just going to be utilizing the blockchains, man, and the different tokens. They're going to be directly being used. So there won't be like an intermediate. The governments right now are trying to be the intermediates. They're trying to be the middlemen. And they're also trying to adopt and steal the technology. But at the end of the day, I don't think it's going to work that way because as you see around the globe, economies are crashing. Fiat money is going to go to zero. We're going to have our own crash over here. We're seeing it happen in every single country. We're seeing run on the bank. We're seeing, it's people really need to understand that, this whole system right now is going to get replaced, but it won't be replaced by the Great Reset. It'll be the Great Awakening. And it'll be blockchain, man. Everything will be on the blockchain. Mm-hmm. Everything. I'm talking about everything. A book report, the deed to your house, the title to your car. You know what I mean? And that's what a non-fungible token is. and that's what I'm learning more about, is the physical assets being backed by digital assets, like we were talking about earlier, Phygital or whatever that name. It cracks me up, Phygital. But yeah, so that's where we're headed, man. So people need to just be patient and not like panicky and acting crazy. I see more. Yeah. I'm very optimistic about the future. I know that in order for us to get to where we're going, things kind of have to crash and it has to destroy itself, because this is the old system. We're coming into the new system, which is going to free humanity, and it's gonna make everybody very, very wealthy. You know, and especially the people who are early adopters of the technology, like Bonnie said. You know, letter is to the email as blockchain is to money. And seriously, like, we are so freaking early. You know, and it's just like, whatever you do, man, just keep accumulating, keep learning, and then, you know,
dollar cost average is your best friend.
Yep. So,
yeah, there's still so much that that can be built with like all of this infrastructure. That's like, we're basically at like still the ground floor of everything right now. And then if you start going into like individual chains themselves, there's still plenty of building that needs to get done. So for instance, you know, this time a year ago, HBAR didn't have a marketplace. They didn't have Zeus or Hash Guild or Hash Access or anything like that. And, you know, everybody was just doing like P2P trades with each other. And it was really, really basic. And then, you know, as time went on, there was more infrastructure, it gets upgraded and stuff. And it's going to be interesting to see on XRP how that process happens of, you know, what marketplaces are going to succeed. Is Sologenic going to do well, or is XRP Cafe or Xspectre, like any of the on XRP, my bad. Like, if, you know, who's going to be the winners, and I don't know if there's necessarily losers with marketplaces, but
no, yeah, there's not. It's just
guys,
who gets the better projects in a sense.
Tell me more about Hash Guild, because, you know, they reached out to me. They're really, really, really nice people, man. I want to know more about it. Like, tell me more about Hash Guild.
So Hash Guild is essentially a fully decentralized marketplace similar to LooksRare on Ethereum, and you can list any token that's in your wallet. So when HBAR first had NFTs, all of the token IDs for them were different. So if you had a collection of, let's say, like 10, maybe they had like variances and stuff in them, right? They would all have different token IDs. So it's kind of hard to pick out which ones are like the original ones. So Zeus doesn't let you do that. Zeus is more of a curated type of marketplace, which, you know, makes sense. On Hash Guild, it's essentially you can list whatever you want. You definitely have to check and make sure that, like, if it's one of those older tokens, that you verify with the creators, like, hey, is this token ID like the real thing with it? But I respect that, because at the end of the day, we all want decentralization. And I don't think Zeus is doing anything wrong. I don't think Hash Guild's doing anything wrong. I think they both have very, you know, amicable positions on stuff, and, like, you know, the more choice is always going to be better.
They're both very reasonable with their way of execution.
So let me ask you this. Okay, so what would you say a NFT minted, so like a music NFT, like maybe some of my top records or whatever, minted on HBAR, what do you think would be a price that would be suitable for the marketplace, number one, and what would people like, you know, what would people want to spend on something like that?
I mean, if you think about it, what do people spend on music currently?
Like 99 cents.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, though. I'm gonna connect you with my boy Vicente, because he's a fellow producer. He's fairly big time. So I'll connect you with him, and then I feel like you guys are gonna get along really well and have a lot of synergy together. So he could probably steer you in the right direction, because I don't even know, because most of the time people are just minting pictures, or they're minting GIFs, or, you know, basic stuff like that. I haven't really seen any audio NFTs I've seen there's one creator, I forget their name, but they did one for Metavision, they did one for HBarmery, where they essentially created a song and then had essentially a GIF of like one of the artist's like artworks that they had minted, and it's just essentially like zooming in and out of it as like the sound plays. So they I think they were asking, I think it was like 100 HBAR. It wasn't a lot. It was a very small amount.
Yeah. Okay.
But
so
and if you also got to figure out supply too.
If I mint my my NFTs on HBAR or whatever, and my whole thing was I was going to turn them into MP4s and have like, you know, smoke dropping down or like, you know, some kind of little animation with the cover art, you know, make something cool, but the audio as well. In order for that particular NFT to sell, I'd have to mint like hundreds of copies of it if I wanted to sell a certain amount of it, right? Because once you sell one, it's owned. And it's not like, you know, in music where you can just sell unlimited downloads or streams of your song or whatever. Yeah. So, okay. Now, I feel like scarcity and rarity, I think that's helps. A factor right there, too, you know? And then who it's coming
music,
from.
Yeah,
you know?
with music, with like, you know, like what Kanye did with that little, I forgot what it was called exactly, but it was like that circular white thing.
Yeah.
But that's scarcity in a way, you know?
Yeah. So
because he provided physical copies of his music on these little music players.
The funny thing is, I did come across this company and they do NFTs for like, you know, major artists. And I know they had like the Game up there and they were selling one of his NFTs for like $90,000. And, you know, that's, you know, I don't think I doubt somebody is going to spend that amount of money on that, but you really don't know because look at these freaking Bored Ape Yacht Club, you know, the top end $246,000 or something crazy like that, you know? And that's for just a JPEG, you know? I don't know, man. You know, there's
also a lot of benefits they provide though with that JPEG. It's just not a JPEG. I mean, you get access to obviously a Discord server that has some of the greatest people in the world in it. And then it's basically like an Illuminati club in a sense if you think about it.
No, yeah, for sure. You're a part of the special club, and if you don't own one of these, you're not invited. Like, go away.
Yeah. It's pretty crazy to think about it like that, but in reality, that's kind of what it comes down to.
It's membership. It is.
Yeah,
for sure. Okay. No, just kind of trying to understand this whole thing, and
of course,
you know. And no, I didn't mean to say it like that. Like, it's just a JPEG. No. I mean,
no, we know you. Yeah, we know.
Yeah, you're good, man.
Yeah, I don't want to insult anybody. I want to be in the club too, buddy. Okay. Don't kick me out.
My favorite project out right now is the XRP Junkies on the XRPL. If you've heard of them, they're doing a lot of great things over there, and I would definitely check it out. You can find them on Twitter, obviously, but you have a Zum wallet, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So you're holding all the different tokens. Yeah. You can get their trust line and stuff. But it's a really great project, and it's something definitely to look into. They're creating their own. They're creating their own metaverse in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
And it has a very unique art style to it. It's like Minecraft. But more realistic in terms of like the art design. It's very unique. They just released a demo too of their shooting range.
The Junkverse.
Yep, the Junkverse.
The Junkyverse.
They've also received Ripple grants from Ripple.
Yeah, I haven't seen this one yet, but this is definitely a wow. I follow them, but this is fancy right here. I like it. Yeah,
it's big stuff. They're really under the radar in a sense with a lot of the stuff coming out, but they'll be mentioning on XRP. Yeah, and it'll be very exciting to see everything that comes with them in the future. Just wanted to bring them up to you just in case if you didn't really know about them at all. But keep them on your radar.
Yeah, man, it's awesome. Woo!
So what's up next with you? Like, what do you got? What are your plans? You got anything big coming up?
man, just besides doing a little mint of some of the best of E. Smitty, which I do have like some classic records with like Chino XL, Cool G Rap, Brand Nubian, Group Home, like a lot of legendary hip hop acts that I work with. They're on that project. So, some of those NFTs will be minted soon. But other than that, man, I'm working on this blockchain music technology and just building with everybody that I can on all four platforms. XRP, HBAR, LCX, Algo, and like I don't want to say too much, but I know it's gonna be fantastic. And then just keeping Sound Alive Records is just growing and growing and growing. And everybody you can find Sound Alive Records on Twitter. All you have to do is just type in Sound Alive Records, or it's sound_alive_REC, like rec. And, you can find me easily at The Real E. Smitty. So I'm the only one. There's no one else out there.
One of a kind.
One of a kind, man. One of a kind. Try to be. And, we're just going to keep pushing forward, and everything that I can do in blockchain, I'm going to do it, man. So it's going to keep growing and growing and growing. If you got a project that you need help with, I'm here to help. I'm here to bring spotlight onto anything and everything. And working with these big chains now, that's going to be the main focus right now, building with them as much as I can, and utilizing everything that I've built, and helping them grow and be recognized as the top, blockchains and currencies, tokens, NFTs on the planet. So, that's where the future is, and that's where I'm going, and mixing music with blockchain, and mixing just good vibes with all the communities and the family that I've created and that I've met here on the blockchain. So it's exciting times, man.
Yeah, really exciting. And we're excited to see everything that comes with your future, to be honest. I mean,
appreciate it, man.
We want to create our own project as well, and we've been working on a couple different things, but we just want to make sure everything is right before we launch anything crazy. But yeah, there's just a lot of growth in this space, and just a lot of really, really early adoption as well, which is always great to see.
Well, you guys know your stuff, man. And, I love your show, love your podcast. And,
Appreciate it.
I'll be promoting this heavily. And then, just trying to help you guys grow. I think maybe we can do a contest maybe later this month and give away a little bit of XRP or maybe some HBAR or something. And just keep growing, because I want to send people to your platform as well. I want them to be able to understand the education as well, because that is the most important thing in blockchain right now, is the education. Yep. A lot of people look at it and they're like, well, I don't want to listen to these people talk. And it's like, you got to listen to them, man, because that's where you're going to get the keys. You're going to get the understanding for it, and then get the use case, get the, get the full understanding. And then, there's so much in the blockchain that people can utilize. And when you learn it, it's really, really easy to like jump in and start.
It simplifies a lot of confusion out there, And one of the biggest problems in today's world that I've came to the conclusion of is majority of people nowadays have such a shorter retention span than they used to have ever before, Like there's only a small category of people out there who are willing to sit in, for like a 49, 50-minute long podcast, upwards of an hour. But like those people who are willing to do so and actually soak the information that is reciprocated to them in, they'll be so much more well off in the future,
Well, they're going to be rich, basically. You know what I mean?
Of course, yeah. I mean, not financial advice, but yes, they will be in ways. Either rich in the mind or rich in the money,
Man, you're going to be rich in manners, in ways that you can't even imagine. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah.
So yeah, the education, I'll sit through anything, man. 3 hours, 2 hours, as long as I'm soaking in good information. And
I agree.
There was I want to get to it real quick. I want to talk about it because I think people need to check this out too.
Sure.
All right. So, there it is. Here we go. CV Summit 2022 just happened, and one of the main reasons I even know it existed is my boy, the great Moonshot, who does analytics, and he does media, like covering blockchain, covering all the altcoins, covering Bitcoin, covering XRP, HBAR, everybody. He's there with Monty from LCX. So, I tuned in just to listen and listen to them talk about it, because, these are all people who coming from Web 2, Web 3, and then also building on the blockchain. And, just listening to these people talk, you get a world of education and a world of wealth and understanding for the blockchain and for what's going on and the big change, because this is a revolution. It is a revolution. Like, and it will be
televised.
Yes. Yeah. This is much bigger than what people are giving it credit for. This is a revolution. Like, this is so big, and people need to understand it, or, like, hop on board now, early adopter, educate yourself early, and then, enjoy the fruits, because there's going to be so many fruits out here and so many trees to pick from, and it's unlimited. You know what I mean? So you can literally get into something new every day. You can discover something new every day, a new project or a new blockchain or a new way of doing things. And, I've been transacting like daily with XRP and HBAR and LCX, so it's like, I'm ready for the switch, honestly. I'm holding on to a little bit of cash, obviously. Got to be able to do
withstand the dips.
Yeah, man, and pay bills and handle the business.
Of course, yeah.
Which is the part that it sucks if you love your money, man. You know what I mean? But it's awesome because it feels good to pay bills. And I would tell people like this, put a little money aside every time for crypto, for blockchain. And, try to pay your bills ahead. I try to pay my bills at least 6 months in advance. So then it gives me about 6 months to grind. And then I can grind and just stack. And then at the end of those 6 months, go pay the bills again, and then grind it out for another 6 months. And, that's my secret sauce right there. OG taught me that way back in the day when I was like 18 or 19. He was, he's like, man, Smitty, what you got to do is you got to pay your bills. He said, pay those joints like 6 months in advance. He said, and then get on your grind and get on your hustle. And so, I mean, that kind of, that lived with me for the longest. And, it's one less worry, you know what I mean? But at the same time, just because you do, kind of model your life or your business after that, you got to remember to not get comfortable, because that's the hardest part.
Yep.
And
we talked about earlier.
And getting comfortable, man, is, I'll tell you what, when I start getting comfortable, man, I start feeling uncomfortable. And that's how you should be, man. It should be like a little intuition inside of you, like, man, nope, not going to do it. Not today.
Yeah. 100%. You're spreading some great wisdom, Smitty. I love it. I love it all, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. No, I want people to win, man. I like winning, but I love to see other people win. And I love to see builders and people who construct things, man, because, that's my life, man. And, as a kid, I was play with Legos all day type of kid, build castles and cities and dungeons and stuff. Yeah. And now, if I do have a little playtime, it's I go on Minecraft, man. I don't know why, man. I love that game. Minecraft is awesome. And I built
like a whole game. We all grew up on it.
I built a freaking whole metropolis on Minecraft, man. Like literally skyscrapers.
That's awesome.
A subway. Bunch of stuff. Oh, my camera just did something weird. There we go. Okay, I'm back. Sorry, guys.
No worries, man.
Yeah. So is there any other things you guys wanted to touch on?
Honestly, not off the top of my head, no. I mean, it was a great conversation overall.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You guys are two really smart, intelligent guys, man, and blew my mind. Seriously. Awesome.
I'm glad you were able to get back to me and we were able to make this happen, to be honest. I mean, you seem like a great guy in the space, and we love having influencers and creators on who are just trying to help the space succeed more. I mean, because at the end of the day, we're just one small percent of the world. And if we can bring in the rest of the world to what we are trying to see and trying to see grow, I mean, we're all just going to win at the end of the day, like you said.
There needs to be more media, essentially, either created, by the communities themselves, or maybe have like some of the bigger names also come on board, because there just needs to be like an accessible way to hear from people, especially if you're about to put your hard-earned money into a project, for instance. I would love to hear from the creator, and sort of get like a read on them.
That's why you guys should definitely connect with. My buddy's name is Jin. Okay, but at the Great Moonshot or at Great Moonshot. Okay, connect with him, because that's exactly what his platform is doing. It's a forward-thinking media company, and they're exposing projects. They're talking about moving forward, like the same thing you said. You want to know more about a project before you invest into it. Boom, he's doing AMAs, and they're kind of like written AMAs. So there's questions and answers, and guys, connect with him, because you guys should be platformed on his platform as well. And I know that it's going to be pretty big for everything that he's doing with this platform, man. It's the most serious blockchain media company that I've seen thus far, as far as like putting exposure on the blockchain and also onto the projects and the tokens, and then doing the analytics. And dude's a great guy, man. I think we
really appreciate that.
Yeah,
I'm looking into it right now.
Yeah, I'll tell him you guys are coming.
Send him a DM for us. That'd help out a lot, just to get things connected a lot easier.
Yeah,
he's on his way back from the CV summit right now. So I think he told me yesterday he had like a 22-hour layover wherever he was. Yeah, so he's in Europe. I think he's right on the border of the Soviet Union, or what used to be the Soviet Union. So I think he's in Lithuania. I'm not sure.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, I mean, and a lot of these projects are, because I've got guys in Ukraine. I've got guys in the UK. I've got guys in freaking Brazil, in Indonesia, in Australia.
That's what I love about crypto. It's worldwide.
It's worldwide.
You're going to get it everywhere. You're going to see it everywhere.
Yep.
Oh, Web3 is like Pitbull. It's worldwide.
Yeah.
And you know what? I do want to make one shout out, man, because 3D Apes, definitely. 3D Apes, they've been really, really great friends. I want to make a shout out to Leo Kings too. Leo Kings, they're in Ukraine, man, and they are like weathering the freaking war. And last time I talked with them, they couldn't even have their camera on, because after 10 p.m. you can't turn the lights on. So I mean, hearts and prayers to everybody affected and like going through different stuff, because that's what people don't understand is like we're dealing with a community of people from all over the world. You never know what's going on. And, we're all connected through blockchain and through crypto. But, it's we're very, very fortunate, man. I feel very fortunate to be
I do as well.
Safe.
Absolutely.
And not in the turmoil. You know what I mean? And so my heart goes out to everybody out there, especially in the blockchain world, that's weathering the storm, going through this huge revolution right now, because the world is changing. It's changing for the better, though. But we got to go through the shitstorm first before we get to, greener pastures. But, I just wanted to make that one shout out, man. And, any other projects that I forgot or whatever, shout out to everybody, man. Just everybody in XRP, HBAR, LCX, Algo, especially Algorand Foundation. And the Algorand family, really excited about them. And I'm going to be working very closely with them as well. So got a big meeting on Monday. So we'll see how that goes. And shout out to guys like you who do these type of podcasts and actually bring the education to the people and bring great guests on. And then you guys, obviously you know how to host a freaking show and, like amazing.
Thank you.
So yeah, man, I would love to come back on maybe in a few weeks or a month or whatever or whenever,
And we'll make that happen.
Catch up. Yeah.
I'll definitely look into Leo Kings as well and get them on the podcast soon.
Yeah, man, they're really good people.
Seems
Alex
like
is
they
an
have a
awesome
good story
guy, man.
behind them, considering
Yep.
all the outside factors, you know?
Yeah.
So, boom. Awesome,
It's been a
guys.
pleasure. And with
Been a
that being
pleasure,
said,
brothers.
ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Alt Kings podcast, and we will see you next episode.
Boom.
Yes, sir.
Booyah.